something a little bit different just because I wanted to. But we are actually going to be doing a tour of Tenby. Tenby is the subhood of my massive neighborhood, Kingdom of Edirann. I've had this neighborhood, I feel like almost a decade now. It's been a while. But yeah, so one thing that you'll notice is I have not fully decorated the neighborhood, like the mountains and stuff. I do that because there's no point. Like, you can't see it from the lot, and it saves my computer. Like, I'm convinced the more decorations you have here, the worse it is for you in terms of flashing. I've seen some people say that, and some people not, but that's my humble opinion. Now, I guess we'll start just over here and go over the furthest lot, like the most isolated would be the Dawn lot. This is Alfie Dawn. He doesn't really have an exciting home. We'll go ahead and check it out, but he is a fisherman. His mother runs the local brothel. He was born in the brothel. He worked there for a while, but that's just not what he wanted for himself, so he got out. And there's no judgment. Tippy totally was cool with it, but yeah, I think he's a lot happier being over here. Okay, that took forever to load. Just FYI, I'm not going to go too much into depth about the specific Sims themselves, but this is Alfie's little shack by the sea. I wanted it to look like something he could have built himself, especially since he's so far away from everybody else. And it just needed to be kind of bare bones. So he has a water collector. I have a couple different spawners here. I think that one's a brine rock, sand pit, salt deposit. You can also fish from right there. This boardwalk is not functional. Apparently it's cloned off a flamingo since he can kick it, but yeah, just very basic. He set out some rabbit traps, which looks like they were successful. Good job. I don't think I've actually seen those be successful before, so that's good. He's also going to cut down trees, but they're not ready yet. Yeah, we have a bed. We have a very simple little bathroom. I'm pretty sure he has a huge crush on Gabriella Newsom, which is why she's here. Okay, he's not a crush status, but like he could. And just, it's kind of sad. It's a kind of a sad home, but you know what? Alfie is determined. He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. It's gonna be fine. He just needs to figure some things out. So that is Alfie the fisherman's lot. Alright, so I did place a lot next to him just because the beach lots get a bit weird. And I'd rather have it placed and not need it than need to place it and not be able to. So that's why that's there. As you can tell, the trees in Tenby, I tried to put a lot of like pink ones, but also they're green and just really colorful. A bit kooky. I don't believe, yeah, these are not earmarked either. That said, this was supposed to belong to the Long family, apparently. So yeah, the next family is the Little family, which is Ghislaine and Cosette, and their dog, Brown Eyes. Alright, so Cosette is one of 3 of the little girls who were actually raised by Adrastos Hyatt, and we'll be seeing him. They fled from the kingdom when it went bonkers. And when I say little, it's Liddell. I don't know why the bed is flashing. I have that mesh, and I've seen it work in this neighborhood. Why you playing? So a lot of this is just me course correcting with lots being weird. Which I'm not making you watch because it's silly, but yeah, I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's very silly. Yeah, her husband Ghislaine was in training to be a knight once upon a time. He came with the runaways, essentially. And the reason why his last name is Little instead of Bellamy, which was his birth name, is knights in my game, when they marry, kind of lose the right to the family name. And so if they do marry, they have to take their wife's name. Now their house is also pretty basic. It has the shutters that I love so much that I use almost exclusively, sorry, talking's hard, but I use them in Tenby quite a bit, those triple shutter things. And yeah, their house has a lot of flowers. You can see the garden. I updated the mod, and so I need to fix the plants, which I've been doing rotationally, but I don't want to do it right now, so I'll do it when I play them. He still has some workout equipment outside. Inside, just some basic furniture. Their bedroom is here. I believe that's a workout mat. This is the living room, kitchen, bathroom. And then if you go upstairs, there is a loft where Cosette's like sewing space is. I believe she's meant to be a seamstress, but yeah, she's got a bunch of creative items up here, which is gonna be useful because I believe I'm gonna have her open a shop. But again, I'm not looking at my notes. There's over 250 Sims in Edirann, and I don't have them all memorized. But yeah, that's their house, which you can just, I don't have it on, but you can normally see the tail end of some of the other lots. You definitely can't go see down that way, but yeah, they're just in a charming little stone cottage in a forest. Okay, up next, I want to say neighbors, but they're a little far away. So the closest neighbor that the little family has, that's the Fior family, which is Augustina, her husband Nazario, and their child Iolanda. Belladonna is actually, I believe, her cousin, question mark? Maybe adopted sister, but she's here to learn the business. She's not a permanent resident. They do own a business in canon, but I haven't actually built it yet or made them buy the lot. It's called the Boar and Badger. Augustina and her mother and I believe her grandmother all kind of have run a tavern for years. She was supposed to inherit the one in Edirann, but of course they had to flee, so she started her own. Alright, so I am really kind of proud of this lot. It's basic and simple, but I like the way it looks, essentially. And it's meant to, that's why there's a gate here, it's meant to connect with the eventual Boar Badger build. I just, like I said, haven't gotten around to it. There's a line of like little trees. You can see that there's like a surface pathway through there. The 6 shutter windows that, again, obsessed with. And then outside, because they do run the inn, but they also make their own mead. So we have bees there. The honey making thing there, as well as more hives, more wild bee collected things, but this is just kind of their yard. There's also lots of berry bushes here and flowers to use for the honey. This is meant to be more of a yard that connects to the Boar and Badger. That's why the fence is completely solid through. But you can collect water there. It's kind of a compost pile and water. So their house, like I said, very simple. We've got kitchen, living room, dining, but also there's like a bar, stool placement, counter thing. I don't know, words are hard. But that's there. Eventually we'll put barrels on these, but we haven't made any mead yet, so there's a tiny bathroom. You go upstairs, we have the mead room, which is just filled with barrels. There wasn't really a more appropriate place to put it, so I just put it there. It should be downstairs, realistically speaking, but it's not. Clearly, I have not decorated this lot. I haven't decorated a lot of them, because when I decorate, it's a problem, and you definitely notice, but they shouldn't have that much money or things, because they fled from Edirann with nothing. So anything that they have here is stuff they've traded for or made themselves. And it's been, you know, say like 17-ish years, but they still don't have very much because Tenby was not open to the world until very recently, so it limited even more what they had access to. That's why I don't really over-decorate these lots too much, but yeah. You can see the windows on this. I just put a lot because it was being weird and I was just irritated, so I wanted this look, but I didn't want what it's doing on the inside. And my compromise is we just kind of put a wall there and ignore it. So this is Augustina and Nazario's room. Nazario was not a Fior originally. He was also a knight, but he had pledged to protect the Kenton family. Augustina is related to the Kentons. She is the granddaughter of the former king, so she's kind of through the bastard line, but still a Kenton. He, in my mind, is asexual, but if he had to pick, he'd be gay. They more or less made a business arrangement. Let's have one kid to take over the Born Badger, and then we're just gonna run it together, and it works out for him. So yeah, that is their lot. Okay, so next up is their much closer neighbor, the O'Neill family. We have quite a few of these because when the neighborhood originally started, I had 3 brothers with that last name, and then their families expanded, so that's why we have a lot of them, but this in particular is Acacia O'Neill, Yogan O'Neill, Cialik, and Diarmid O'Neill the Younger. Alright, so this is the O'Neill family. If you're sensing a theme of fanciful fairy stone cottages, you are correct. I get to use all these cool roofs in this neighborhood. I get to just generally make it look a little magical because Tenby is in a forest that was basically, no one could go there. It was protected by magical creatures. The only reason they were able to settle here is because a werewolf and a witch led some of the survivors this way. And that's essentially where they've been living ever since, is in this little magical area. Now, this lot, pretty basic again, but I like it. They obviously are in the business of growing flowers. Eogan basically had to start over. He was all set to become a baron at the time, but is a merchant at heart. So they are going to be running like a flower selling business, flower arranging. And that's why I have those set up the way they are. But Diarmid is also the school teacher in Tenby, so the little schoolhouse here is what he runs. I tried to keep it very basic, again, for the same reasons I haven't decorated the lots very much. They wouldn't have access to a ton of things. But there is the school, as well as a little play yard out there. It's cute. Over here we have, looks like a poison crafting, but it looked like flower arranging is why I put it there, but I always forget about it. But yeah, bathroom, living room, gambling table. I think somebody has a gambling problem in this household. I don't remember who. Big kitchen, dining, and then you come upstairs. We have the bathroom, master bedroom, and the room that Diarmid shares with Cialik, which I believe Cialik is... Who is your mother? Yeah, he is Acacia and Yogan's child. Late in life, because Acacia was actually married before and had a child. I don't think it's... Yeah, I don't have it listed here. She was married, but... Yeah, very simple, very sweet. They actually have a bit more decorations than some of the other lots, but I tried to restrain myself. I tried. Effort was made. So let's go check out their neighbors. Alright, so right next door we actually have the Sue family. This consists of Adair Sue, Malvina Sue, and their 2 children, Julian and Joby. Alrighty, so this is the Sue family. Again, basic little fairy cottage. They actually don't have the special windows, but that's just, I wanted things to look a little different. Their lot is also fairly new in comparison to some of the others. I do think that I'm missing some flooring that I placed, or maybe some terrain paint, because it looks very bare and that's not what I normally do. So who knows, but they have a simple 2-bedroom shack. Their style, I can't remember, but is very either Rococo or Art Nouveau or something along those lines. That's why it's a little mix and match here, but it's fine, it's fine. It could look that way. So we have very, very basic kitchen, living room, dining. They're also not very wealthy. I know that they've got a ton of simoleons, but I don't actually go by the game simoleons. It's by what I think. Yeah, I thought she was making soap. I don't think those should be there. Something's funky with their lot. Because I remember I'm pretty sure it was her, and it was not working well. I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyways, simple bedroom. I didn't even recolor the beds. Toddler room, bathroom. If you go outside, they actually do have a chess set. Garden, I need to replace some of the things. But yeah, I think that I'm missing flooring, because I think I had flooring here. And I know that I had terrain paint here because Adair is a hunter who's going to be butchering everything that he finds and selling leather and that sort of thing. That's why we have all of those. This one's kind of a bust, unfortunately, just because I'm missing things. That's what I get for cleaning out CC and not paying attention. But the plants are not my fault. That was an update. It was necessary, but as a result, we got some funky things going on. So let's check out the next family. Alright, I do recognize that I set basically a butcher next to a flower seller, but we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. We are instead going to be checking out their neighbors, which I'm on the fence about how to pronounce this last name. I tend to change it in my head. Roke is how I usually say it, but it could be anything. And this is Graham, Marinella, and their son, Monroe. Alrighty. As I choke. So this is the Roke family, like I said. I did do a little bit of jettying on this building, but otherwise it's brick. I genuinely don't remember why I left that space open or like penned up that way, so we're gonna ignore it. They do have quite a few fields. I believe my intent was for them to sell tea. I literally looked it up because I couldn't remember, and I did not make a note on what I intended for them to sell. I do know that this bottom part is meant to be a business. I just haven't opened it yet. But there's a blacksmith. Maybe I'm gonna have to decide what they do, because other than running a business, apparently I didn't think it was important to take notes. Happens to the best of us. Like I said, there's a lot of families. I do my best. But they live above their shop pretty simply. Dining, living room, kitchen. They don't even have a big fireplace. Tiny little bathroom. This is Marinella and Graham's bedroom. Fun fact, Marinella is a lesbian, but she's very class aware and always intended to marry, not really for love but for duty kind of thing. Because I do have plenty of not straight sims, because the acronyms throw me off and I don't want to say it wrong, but plenty of them that I have gay sims, I have lesbian sims that live out their best life, but not all of them want to, and we have to respect that. Marinella wanted to have a kid, wanted to be a high status lady. Didn't work out for her. She married a poor merchant, but she's still not quite giving it up. Anyways, this is Monroe's room. He likes the color purple. Doesn't have too much yet, but hopefully now with Tenby being open to Edirann, they'll be able to get more in terms of decoration. Alrighty, so that was this row here. We're gonna go ahead and go up this hill to where the cemetery will eventually be, but also where one of my favorite all-time lots that I've ever built and decorated is, and that is the Hermitage, aka the Kinnereth Shrine. Alright, now this lot is actually what inspired me to do this tour in the first place. It is based on some Viking Scandinavian temples that I've seen that are very cool. As you can see, it is covered in owls. I do use the name Kinnereth from Skyrim, but that's the only thing that it takes. She's not actually meant to be Kinnereth. We got some plants growing on the roof, these cool dragons. Honestly, showing this lot off in pictures is really difficult because there's just so much going on. So we have a little sign here if they want to put things up. Apparently that's Princess Bubblegum, it looks like it. Hey, I just realized I don't need that because I have another one and I remembered where it was. But yeah, you can come up here. This is where prayers to Kinnereth are said. This is actually not prayable, but I have a mod that lets me make him pray. Over here, there's a little bit of a stargazing area. Again, more like places to pray. Got a little bit of a garden to support them. All of the priests here are meant to be vegetarians, so I make sure that they don't eat any sort of meat. Got a little goat here. Over here we have some like a wood chopping station. There's just a dog hanging out. Hi, Webster. A little wagon to carry any sort of goods they have into town. We have a little creature, which is from The Sims Medieval, but it just amused me. The panther is meant to be, oh gosh, sorry, it doesn't like the layers we're dealing with. The panther is meant to be my version of Kinnereth in this game. My goddess Kinnereth, who is not the Skyrim Kinnereth. She shapeshifts and a lot of times takes the form of a panther, jaguar, whatever. But yeah, so that's her. We've got some little exercise mats, a little table for eating outside so that they can commune with nature. And now we go downstairs. This is probably the most overly decorated lot within the entire neighborhood. My story here is that Adrastos actually found this lot. It was already built, it was just fallen into ruins, and he restored it, put it back together, started being a priest for Kinnereth, more or less. So we have like a basket weaving station, just lots of little kitchen things in here, tools, supplies, whatnot. I really like this kitchen. I think it looks so good. But you can see what, like, it's really tight, so getting screenshots is incredibly difficult here. This is the living room, and again, like, it's just very tight, so screenshots, difficult, especially with the shape of the building. You can see we've got like leaves over the archways, a bunch of books, tea, knitting. This is actually a TV. If you do the overhead, there is a teensy tiny little bathroom there. And when we go to the next floor, there is the library, which is fairly modest, but again, everything that they have has to be brought in. Musical instrument, this is where he reads and contemplates. Another little bathroom. And then the final floor is his bedroom. There is a shower barrel up there. When I came back to this lot to play, I couldn't find it for a while and I got confused, but yeah. Most of his storage is just trunks because it wasn't built in. And this does clip through, but I just pretend it's not happening. It's fine. As you can see, our lovely Adrastos is currently dozing. But yeah, this is, like I said, one of my favorite lots. I love all the owls everywhere just hanging out. It brings me joy. It's cool. So yeah, let's move on to the next lot. Alright, so that is the only real building on the hill. When the cemetery exists, we'll be over there. We're gonna go ahead and visit this lot. Oh, I forgot I haven't actually, it's not occupied. Okay, we're not, because it's not occupied, but there is a trapper's cottage out here eventually someone will live in, but I thought it was earmarked for someone. See, this is good for me too. I'm realizing things that I need to do and take care of. It's earmarked for somebody, but so far nobody is a trapper. So down the road from all of these guys, this is our next batch of people, we are going to visit the Van Alsbergs, of which I have many, but this specifically is Edirann, Salathiel, and Noga. Alrighty, so this house uses one of my favorite doors of all time that I don't get to use enough, but it's so good. It's so good. That color is perfect. Love it. But this is just a home lot. I don't know what I'm saying. Words are hard. Edirann, I know, is a seamstress. I do remember that. Her wife died in the chaos that was their little civil war that they had. And now she lives here with their 2 children. I really love this little tower here. At one point she did have a helper, but when I rebuilt the kingdom, I decided not to do that. I had been trying to use NPCs I accidentally generated in the prior version, but since I did not generate them, I didn't need to do it this time. But yeah, they've got a tiny little garden there. This is her fabric dyeing shop, I guess. It's not gonna be a real shop, like she just dyes fabric here. Because she's not gonna like raise sheep, make thread, make fabric. She's just gonna dye it and make it into clothing and sell it. Their house is fairly simple. We have a little living room here, kind of an alcove, kitchen, dining, little bathroom. This bedroom down here belongs to her son, which is Celestial. It's a little more decorated than I've been doing, which I appreciate personally. I like decorated spaces. When I don't get to do it, I am sad. We look at the painting corner, another bathroom, another bathroom. I did decorate her bedroom. I do remember that this is one of my favorite bedrooms that I've decorated. Like, that's meant to be a dress that she made for her wedding. She really likes flowers and things like that. Fabrics and perfumes, more plants. I think she's religious. I can't remember off the top of my head though. And then this is her daughter's room, Noga. She likes the color pink, and I think I was able to deliver on that. She's a younger teen. Slathiel is much older. Noga, I think, is, yeah, she's like just became a teen. I think that she likes blacksmithing as her hobby, which is why that's there. Yeah, pretty simple but cute. I do have some just blank spaces here because the door does come through, but like worth it. Worth it. So yeah, let's move on to the next family. Alright, the next lot is their next door neighbor right there, the Bellamy family, which is also the Kenton family. It's a bit mixed. Sia Bellamy used to be a Kenton princess. She had married into the family. She has since married Severin. They're kind of running Tenby at this point. Laurent is Severin's son with his first wife, who he thought he'd never see again. Spoiler alert, she's alive. And then together, Sia and Severin have Emerante, Aurelian, and then Talesian is actually Sia's son by her Kenton husband, Olwen, who is dead. Talesian was a problem because he obviously had not renounced the throne. He was in utero at the time. And he has since, they've struck a deal with the Blumenthal family that he is going to become an Archduke of Tenby and marry one of the one of the Blumenthal daughters, Katinka. Okay, I forgot how much I loved this lot. It's actually really, really good. It's a good one. I just love the style. I love that big iron window. It doesn't have glass in it, but I genuinely don't care. It's got the little shutters on that side. It's got jettying. It's a very cool lot. I forgot. I'm so sorry, lot. You deserved better from me. So as you can see, they've got some trees kind of in little containers, I guess? I don't know. We've got some water there outside. There's a bunch of easels. I believe somebody teaches painting, but don't quote me on that because I genuinely don't remember. We've got barrels, caravan. Again, people come and visit quite often because these are sort of the ruling class. We have some cows. This one's just a deco cow. I think that one's also deco, yeah. Those are not like sun and moon cows. Mostly because I don't want them to have to take care of them. They also have horses. Again, not the sun and moon ones. They're just decorative. Little cellar, a little fighting thing. That's just decorative. It's not meant to be anything. And then we go inside. So inside we have lots of open spaces. They don't have too much stuff. I have not really decorated this lot. Bathroom, kitchen, dining, living room, kind of. I believe this is Talesian's bedroom, but I could be wrong. So it's somebody's bedroom who is interested in gem cutting. Fitting, considering the new Sims 4 pack. This is the second floor. We've got an empty room, bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. There are some sim boobs over there, but that is Sia and Severin's room. We have the nursery for Aurelian. This is Amarante's room. Very basic. I know she has some sort of fitness thing as her hobby. I think it's yoga, so maybe that's why she's got that mat there. And we have the third floor, which is... maybe that's Laurent's room. I'm not sure which boy's room is which. I think this is Talesian's room, and the one down there is Laurent's, because of the color. So there's a larger bathroom. This is technically a pool table, but it's like a planet battle type of thing. And Talesian's room, his actual room. Sometimes when I don't play these families more than once a year, I get a little confused. But yeah, I think this lot is really cool. And again, it's really kind of difficult to show it all off with the little nooks and crannies, and there's just lots of little details. I try not to go overboard when I post pictures. But let's move on to the next family. Alrighty. So moving right along, we have one of the last lots in the neighborhood. It's not the last one, but we're close. I know this video is getting a little bit long, but I don't care. This is the Tickled Wench, aka the brothel. Alrighty. I know you're probably thinking, why would there be a brothel in a tiny town of survivors when they're not getting much foot traffic? Well, there was a lot of single men. Tippy has always run a brothel, but when she ran away with the survivors, it was tough going for a while, but she made it work, and you know what? Good for her. So this is the Tickled Wench. Fairly basic kind of build. I didn't go too fancy with it. She's not over here with red velvet and brocade. Downstairs is the business. That's just flashing because it's just being weird, but normally it doesn't. So we've got a couple tables. They play cards a lot. There's also a bartending table, wine, a little bit of a kitchen. We do have like a employee room. So it's like a living room, but you know, they need a break sometimes. Bathroom, or just literally a bathtub room, and then a little bathroom there. There's also another bathtub room out here. Upstairs is everybody's bedrooms. So let's start with, I believe this is Tippy's room. She is getting older now, so she's really, and she wants to look young, so there's a lot of like potions and things. I just thought it was kind of funny that she's maybe obsessed with not getting older, because it is kind of what she does for a living, is being attractive, and if she's not attractive, well, uh-oh, what's gonna happen to me? Personally, I think she's worrying over nothing, but yeah, I had a lot of fun decorating the space and cluttering up everything with every little potion that I had. The next room belongs to Azalea. They do have more items as well, just because I figured what little foot traffic they were getting was the only way that new items were coming into the neighborhood. So they've got more to choose from than everybody else. Yeah, her room's fairly basic. You know, some crates, some pictures, some plants. Nothing too fancy. This is Jacopo's room, who is actually religious, surprisingly. But he was set to become the Drago heir. Didn't want to be. He is fully gay, did not want to even be involved. So he ran away and is now living his best life. But he is still a follower of, I believe that's supposed to be Kenrith. Don't ask me though, because I don't actually know. It's fine, it's fine. Also, that is floating. Rude. A coin is magic. Over here we have Gabriella's room, which is fairly plain. She's the newest recruit. She actually lived in Edirann for a while and then ran away, so she doesn't have as much stuff. And then lastly, we have Anxo Drago's room, who is posing as Tippy's son, but he actually is the son of a Saint Persephone nun, and it's problematic. It's a problem. But this is his room. He's very interested in like adventure and that kind of things. Yeah, it's a cute little lot. Alright, so that was the Tickled Wench. Come on now, game. Don't be mad. And it is kind of along the main path. Obviously, we passed Sia and Severin's house is one of the first ones because they are the leaders. But we come through here. This is the road that leads to Edirann. I know it's cut off, but whatever. There is going to be an inn here. I haven't built it yet. But we come to our actual last plot, which is the one that I just played recently, and it's another O'Neill family. Alright, so this is Quinn O'Neill's family, his wife Davika, who was also a little, and their 3 children, Phelan, Ylva, and Wolfrun. Now, Quinn is a werewolf. He is one of the 2 people responsible for getting everybody to Tenby in the first place. The other was Anthahydric, who has since died in a fire, but we're not worried about that. Point is, he is like the first person that you see when you enter Tenby. He's also responsible for leading people to and from, like, Edirann, for example, because the woods still very much don't like people who are not magic. They're working on it. Obviously, he does a bit of hunting. Got a well over here. This cool tree that I love so much because all the ribbons. And I think that's for salt as well. Like, they just kind of do a little bit of everything. So I think this is leatherwork. I don't remember what these stations are exactly, but yeah, they just do a little bit of everything to make ends meet, kind of thing. So we have a kitchen, dining room, the living room. This is the nursery where all 3 of the toddlers are. Playing their round is very much just surviving. We have a tiny bathroom, another bathroom. This is the main bedroom here. They don't have very much, but you know, what they have works. And then over here is actually kind of a shack that he essentially locks himself in when he's a werewolf. I don't think I actually have him as a werewolf because the mechanics drive me insane. But, you know, that's the purpose of the shack. The upper floor is completely empty. I like the idea that Quinn did not build this himself, but the neighborhood got together and maybe this was our bottom structure was already here and they added the top structure just to help him live his best life because he thinks he's a monster. His family obviously does not, but he needs some convincing sometimes. And that will do it for Tenby. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of subhood tour. I might do Penrith next. Edirann is a little bit harder because it's so large. This is already almost 40 minutes long and it's barely that many lots considering. But I might try to do Edirann in like sections. So let me know what you thought. If you want to see more of the neighborhood, I'd love to show it to you. Playing it is not really an option because it's just, there's no way, but I'm happy to show you. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do give it a like. It really does help. And I'll see you in the next one.